And we are now joined by David Saltzman, who is a member of the now infamous synagogues in Brooklyn. We've all heard the news story about these tunnels that were discovered underneath this synagogue. And there's a lot of theories going around the internet about why these tunnels exist, a lot of conspiracy theories, wild accusations going on. So we brought David here as a member of the synagogue to set the record straight of any rumors going around why these tunnels exist. So everyone, please welcome David Saltzman. So David, if you want to give a just brief background on yourself, go ahead.
I live in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn about 30 years. I'm a member of the Chabad Synagogue, which is in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I've been a member there for 20 years. And I just wanted to come on a show to basically set the record straight. There's a lot of rumors about the tunnels, and I figured I would just try to settle those rumors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there are kind of like a lot of wild reasons why these tunnels exist. We've heard theories. Can you kind of just get us started here and let us know kind of what's going on down there?
Well, sure. There's people think there's just one reason, but there's many reasons that the tunnels exist, and I wrote them all out. So I'll probably just get my glasses and take a look. One of the first reasons I can tell you is that the tunnels, they existed. One of the reasons they exist is because it's more like a spy system. And what I mean by spy system is if we dig the tunnels deep enough and going underneath many different buildings, then when we go into tunnels, we're able to basically listen more carefully to what neighbors are saying. And as we can listen, we're actually doing the city of New York a favor by having these tunnels, because as we listen, we can listen for criminal activities that could be going on, and so any type of wrong activities, and we can let the city know if we hear something that is dangerous. We can let the NYPD know, and they can do what they have to do afterwards. So
yeah, like if there are any terrorists around, you listen for them to make sure. Yeah,
right,
wow.
Right.
So you're actually keeping our city safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
So, when in these spy tunnels, what kind of buildings are you listening to?
So when basically listening to the neighbors' buildings, because these the tunnels go out to the different neighbors, and there's a whole bunch of buildings nearby, and we're just listening to what neighbors are saying, and the tunnels give us good access and good hearing, and we could hear everything neighbors are saying. They don't realize it, so they're speaking freely.
Yeah, no, that's smart. And have you guys caught anyone?
Well, all the information that we get, we'll give to the NYPD. Okay, and the NYPD has certain units that they'll take the information from us, and then they'll investigate on their own. But I don't know what they do.
Yeah, yeah. So you have heard suspicious things that you guys actually have reported before.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well, it sounds like you really are keeping. I mean, crime's at a all-time high in the city, so you doing this is kind of really great. And Giselle's actually from the city, so it sounds like David and the crew are actually helping you out. You walk the streets. You're a lady of the night.
Yeah.
No. So that's actually nice. You're much safer now, I guess, thanks to these tunnels. And David, you could have saved your life. We don't even know it yet.
That's right. We try to do the city a favor.
Well, that's really
by
awesome.
Helping keep crime low.
There you go.
So you mentioned several reasons. Is there anything else?
Another reason is it's called GCT. Do you know what that is?
GCT?
Yeah.
No,
It's called Goy Conversion Therapy.
it's what?
Goy Conversion Therapy.
Goy conversion therapy? What is that?
So that's basically in the tunnels when we basically speak verses from the Torah and different biblical verses. The sound resonates through the grates. It goes through the tunnel, through the grates, and up into the ground. And there are people walking. Now, when people hear these things, to them, they don't see. They just hear, and it's more like subliminal. They're walking and they're listening to messages. These messages, you can call it subliminal advertising, and it's basically multiple reasons. One, it tries to convert non-religious Jews to be more religious. They try to convert non-Jews to convert maybe to Judaism, or to make them think that we the Jews are the chosen people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is an important message we want to get out to our audience, that the Jews are the chosen people. So the way this works, I mean, this is interesting to me. You said it's GCT, Goy Conversion Therapy.
Yes.
So you're speaking through the sewers, you said subliminally?
Yeah, well, as we read, the messages go through the grates, and they go into the air, and anybody walking by will hear these sounds, but they don't see anything. They're only listening to them.
Yeah. So it's kind of going to their subconscious, you said?
Right, subliminal, going through their subconscious.
So this is intentional, or do you guys ever, how did you guys come to create this method?
A few of the members got together and discussed it and decided that there would be one way of getting messages across without having to actually have someone stand in front of you. So you come across that, and when you watch a movie in the movie theater, what you don't realize is when the movie is playing that there's every few frames there's a Coca-Cola that's being flashed into the screen, and that's why you realize when there'll be Coca-Cola, there'll be popcorn, and when you're watching the movie, you realize people get up and get Coca-Cola or popcorn. What they can't get, the eye can't see those brief milliseconds of Coca-Cola or popcorn. And that's fact. That's always been fact with certain movies.
Subliminal messaging is very powerful.
Yeah.
Even more than conscious. Because if you saw Coca-Cola on it, you might be like, oh, they're advertising to me. I don't want a Coca-Cola. I'm being sold this product.
They're turned off.
But if it's subliminal, you go, wow, I feel like having it for some reason. Yeah.
Right. So that's it. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
So has this been effective? Have you guys noticed like an uptick in converts to the synagogue since you've been doing this?
I mean, it's hard to really measure. It's not something that's difficult to measure, but, we hope it does. We hope it's effective.
Yeah.
From what we know and from what feedback we get from other members of the synagogue, it's effective.
Giselle, have you ever heard anything when you've walked through the city?
No.
But
No, how long have you been doing this for?
Well, I've been a member of the synagogue for 20 years, but we've probably been doing it for at least a decade.
Wow.
So it's probably good you didn't hear it though, Giselle, because
So are
that's
you
kind of
all
the idea.
chanting together?
Sometimes we're chanting together. Sometimes it's just one or two members reading some verses. So it's not a set situation. Every situation's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's probably good, Giselle, you haven't heard it, because that sounds like that's the idea, where it actually seeps in better subliminally than it would if you kind of heard it.
Right.
So you could be a convert soon to the synagogue.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That'll be exciting.
We hope you are.
And we hope you are too. That'd be awesome. Because I'm actually thinking about going now. This synagogue is so popular and famous It almost seems like it's the place to be.
Yeah, isn't it like the most popular in all of the world?
Yes, it is. It's well known all over the world. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a headquarters, I think they said.
Yes. Yep. It's their headquarters.
So, Giselle, let's go.
All right.
That'll be fun. All right, so...
But there's no tunnel anymore, right? They
No.
filled it. Didn't.
Well, the tunnels exist still. So what you might have heard on the news is that they filled it, but they didn't fill all of the tunnels. They probably just filled certain pieces of the tunnel because the tunnels are extensive. It's an extensive system.
Really?
So they might have just filled pieces of it.
Yeah. Okay.
How extensive are they?
They run through, I would say, not just on our street, but they run across the street, underneath the street, and they run into other streets. And so I wouldn't say they're not miles long, but they run in different directions and a few 100 feet long.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty amazing. It sounds like they're bigger than we initially thought. The initial reports were kind of like that it was only like 60 feet or so, but it sounds like
Yeah,
it's
the
actually...
news said 60 feet long by 8 wide by 5 tall.
So it sounds like maybe the cops that broke in didn't even see the whole depth of how deep it really goes.
Right. They probably didn't. They didn't see the entire depth. And the same thing with the news. They don't see everything. The news just sometimes takes. Sometimes the news people aren't even in the tunnel. They're taking information from someone else, from a
Right.
third party. So that's why you can't always believe in the news and what you're reading,
Right.
because it's not always accurate.
Do you want to get into, like, I mean, how are you allowed to talk about how big and deep these things are?
No, I'd rather not.
All right. So, any other? I mean, you
The
mentioned so far,
reasons, yeah.
you mentioned a spy system. You mentioned the joy
Chanting.
conversion therapy.
And then I have another reason about, basically, Jews like to build tunnels because throughout civilization they always built tunnels. And depending on certain situations, they always had a place of refuge. So if there was any threat or harm to them, they would always, go into the tunnels for safety. So that's just another reason. It's more like a reason of safety.
Right.
So that's another reason behind it.
So, like, how? So they're going under there for safety, but how many could fit under there? Is it really that big, or?
The number of people we never really measured, so I can't tell you how many people can fit underneath there. But it's I'm sure not all of New York City can fit, but probably the people in the synagogue, the members of the synagogue, can fit in there.
Like, what are you guys doing under? Are you guys how long do you stay in there, or what's once you're down there? Besides doing the goy conversion therapy, what?
No, there's other things. I mean, the tunnels, we've used them for other things. We use them for basically. I know it's hard to understand, but we did some spa treatments down there. We did some food, some events. We even take it down there sometimes, if a baby is crying in a synagogue and we need some peace and quiet, we bring the baby down there so the baby can cry, but it won't disturb the people above.
So you have a spa and eating. You got like a restaurant or something down there?
No, not a restaurant, just a basic place if you want to go down, let's say, in the tunnels. If you ever, the same thing if you ever been into the tunnels. Sometimes you just want to bring, let's say, whatever, your lunch down there and sit in a tunnel. It's interesting. I've been in there many times, and it's interesting. It's a really, you can't understand it unless you're in there.
Right.
Yeah. So you said you guys kind of have refuge down there because you've been persecuted. I mean, as we know, Jews throughout history probably are the most persecuted people on earth. And so is that true? Is that how you feel?
You probably had tunnels since Egypt to hide from the Pharaoh, and right?
Yeah,
is that
that's
true?
right. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
He knows about that, sure. So absolutely.
I was guessing. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
because
I
it
didn't know
made
about
it would
that.
make sense from what you're saying. Since the beginning, Egypt was probably the first time you guys were really.
Yeah.
Persecuted.
So
Yeah.
you go back to that. See.
Yeah.
Dirk is a smart guy.
Yeah.
Well, I
you're
know the
very
history.
smart.
Of my-
Claim your power.
When you started off talking about this, saying that Jews like to build tunnels. Are there tunnels beyond just what we know of in New York?
Yeah, there are tunnels in other communities throughout the U.S. I mean, you'll find tunnels in upstate
Really?
New York. You'll find tunnels in Florida, in Boca Raton, Florida. You'll find some tunnels in Miami. So you'll find tunnels in a number of different areas throughout the U.S.
So this isn't even like an anomaly in New York. You guys are doing this everywhere you guys go. it
Yeah,
sounds
you'll
like.
find them in different Jewish communities throughout the U.S.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's something interesting. I think it's interesting.
I mean, do these do these tunnels connect in between cities, or is that something
No.
you really can't?
No, they're just really independent.
Oh, okay.
They're independent. They
Okay.
don't connect from city to city.
Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah, that'd be nice.
So each community around the country kind of has their own tunnel system society.
Right, that's right. Each one has their own.
Yeah, wow. So
I know
Dirk, yeah, sorry, go on,
The
Giselle.
news is saying that the tunnels were built for a place to go in case there was another, like COVID, for example, because you weren't able to gather together as a group when COVID was happening. So
Right.
that's what the news is saying. Is that partly what it is?
That's one of the reasons.
But that was there before
Right.
COVID, the
Right,
tunnels.
they were there before COVID. So there were many reasons. It's
Yeah.
not just, it's not, there are multiple reasons. So it's not just one particular reason.
Right.
There are many reasons. That's the whole thing. So that's like another reason.
And what is the community like now after all of this has broken loose and all the media? How are you able to now go in and do your worship or whatever it is you need to do there with all of this disruption?
I mean, right now it's disruptive, so it's a little bit hard. But as soon as things calm down and it's out of the news, it'll be back to normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it must have disrupted kind of your flow with the tunnels, all this drama.
Yeah, all those police officers.
But now it did. But
That was scary.
But you know, like anything, like the news. Things are in the news for a couple of days, and then after that, you don't hear from it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm visiting Moscow, and I've been waiting to show you this synagogue here for a long time. Let's have a look why. So this show was built in the late 1800s, at a time when the Jewish people experienced pogroms. So what did the Jews who built this synagogue, what did they do? They made a tunnel, and this tunnel exists until this day. Have a look. You lift up the stones, and look at this. Look inside. You're able to escape through this tunnel. If there's a pogrom, they'd go in here, they'd go through the tunnel, they'd escape from the shul, and they'd find themselves outside of danger.
In a world that is bland, colorless and cold, where banality grows like a fungus or a mold, there live the boring sheeple who look just like each other. A darker force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the little deviants. They come from underground. A darker force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the little deviants. They come from underground. Force rides into town, unleashing demon brothers. Here come the little deviants. They come from underground. They're rising from the depths to take those sheeple down. The sheeple are compliant and make for fine ingredients. For customizing anything, here come the little deviants. These are the little deviants.
I believe in miracles. so thank you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you? How did you know I needed you so badly? How did you know I'd give my heart gladly? Yesterday I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, making love to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
לא העיקרי, קודם כל לתת להם מכות, לא רק מכות כל כך מכירות, שהמחיר יהיה כבד למצוא. כרגע המחיר לא כבד למצוא. התקפה רבת היקף על הרשות הפלסטינית. תאבד על הפחד שהכל מתמוטט.
לא פוחדים, צוחקים להם, יראו לנו לתוך הישרת פה בצחוק ופשוט הם לא פוחדים.
זה מה שמביא אותם
בעזה.
לא יכניעו.
אם אנחנו עושים איזה משהו, אז הם...
יש עליה, נניח שהם אומרים משהו. אז אמרו, 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בנו. זה אבסורד. אז אמרו, 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בנו. זה אבסורד.
Where Willard ended, Ben begins. Ben is coming from Cinerama Releasing, and this time he's not alone.
Maybe he was Ben. That's the name of the leader of the rats. There were some pages from Willard's diary in the newspapers. Maybe he was Ben. That's the name of the leader of the rats. There were some pages from Willard's diary in the newspapers.
Those rats killed 3 people.
All residents, go in and stay in your houses.
Drive the rats in the tank area.
They're eating us alive down there. There's millions of them.
And they're coming for you. They're coming. They're gonna burn you, Ben. And then they're gonna drown you. Run, Ben. Run, please.
Ben and his army of rats are on the way.
way they roll shows, more men control them. Whether wearing a fedora, a kippa, or stripe, these tribal cunts smile while they commit blood libel. Denial's not just something that they do to the extreme, it also forms the border of their land theft scheme. Euphrates is the other, now they've gone and blown their cover, cause now everybody knows these Jews are man-boy lovers. We know about the tunnels in the walls of the Chabad, the demon features peeking through the breach in their facade. They better pray to God they get the staff and not the rod, because these perps will get no mercy out of me and my squad. And this is just one of their insane factions. The fact is we all saw that shit-stained mattress. These faggots grab kids and drag them right to the caverns. It's like they don't even think that a kike's life matters, and it doesn't. So while these inbreds fuck their cousins, we'll be discussing ways to bake them by the dozen. And they've got abundant ways to stay pungent, like munching a munchkin's buns and some punch in a dirty subterranean fear cake factory where rabbis suck baby dicks like queers drink daiquiris. It has to be the sickest form of blasphemy they're practicing, and after that these faggots skull caps need fracturing. Leave them bleeding out upon a pile of manure, pluck their fucking eyes out and spike them on a skewer. All the rumors that you heard have never been true, or just a bunch of master splitters blasting sphincters in the sewer. So if you see a kite, keep an eye on your kids. These parasites might try to bite your foreskins, like Morlocks gorging on forced abortions. These kikes' life force feeds off your misfortune. Tunnel rats, perverted gnomes and catacombs. Tunnel rats, hiding in holes with no souls. Tunnel rats, criminal cats with little hats. Kike tunnel rats get the gas. Tunnel rats, black hearts and dark arts. Tunnel rats, they link